good morning, and thanks for getting up with us on this Sunday. It is 7 a.m. right now, not 6 a.m. I'm Libby Dowsett alongside Joe Ranieri. It's painful in the spring, but
it is painful.
We do love it in fall.
Yeah, we do like in the fall. We lose an hour of sleep, but you know what we gain in sleep? We gain in daylight. If that makes you feel any better, it doesn't make me feel much better, but it is a sign that spring is right around the corner, about 2 weeks away. And we're going to be looking at some overcast skies. We have a cold front that's kind of sweeping down a little bit that will be bringing in some subtle changes over the next couple of days. So today it'll be the light rain, and that will continue into tomorrow, but snow levels will begin to drop here the next couple of mornings down to about 1,000 feet. We're not going to be impacted. I know some models are trying to bring in a little bit of a light dusting, 1,000 feet and higher. I think that'll be the case throughout the foothills of the mountain. We'll talk more about that in details, but I want to focus on today. Here we are by the afternoon. The wettest time of the day, folks, is going to be basically from 11 in the morning until 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then we'll start to dry out. And there'll be kind of a dry overnight, and then more showers pop up, just spotty here and there looking into Monday. And then the middle part of the week is when things get really wet. You travel over the Oregon Cascades, you're going to be looking at some heavy snow the next few days. So by Wednesday morning, we'll start to see those showers pick up, and by Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, yeah, we're going to be seeing some very strong showers at times. And rainfall amounts between now and the end of tomorrow, about 0.2 of an inch of rain. We're going to be looking at about 1/10 of an inch of rain later on today, Libby. I'll talk more about your detailed forecast about 10 minutes from now.
Thank you, Joe. People who live near Portland's ICE facility are getting a break. A federal judge has issued a preliminary injunction restricting the use of tear gas by federal agents. The ruling follows months of complaints that chemical munitions deployed during protests were seeping into an affordable housing complex across the street. One resident tells our Jake Holter she's grateful to have been heard in court.
We aren't invisible anymore.
Mindy King lives here at Gray's Landing, right across the street from the ICE facility.
To see it change so quickly to a place of fear where I had to teach my child how to put on a gas mask, and I had to constantly be on guard about, did we leave a window open?
King in disbelief that her life now involved putting on a gas mask in her home, her sanctuary.
This was an actual functional need I had in my home. It's now hanging on my kitchen shelves so that it's accessible at any moment. To get to the point where we needed that, it's ridiculous. It's insane that in this country where I felt so protected and I felt safe, to have that shattered, it's something I never expected to experience.
She says she felt the use of gas by the agents was indiscriminate and happened even with smaller crowds, times when she was less prepared.
Ripping the air conditioner out of my window so that I can get it closed, and those are the times that I got tear gas in my apartment.
That gas taking a toll on her health.
Having a sore throat just from being around the tear gas, even, the times between October and January when they weren't tear gassing, I still was experiencing stuff from the residue around the apartment.
So King joined the lawsuit against the Department of Homeland Security alongside fellow tenants and her building.
We have residents who went into heart failure, residents who had to be prescribed inhalers, residents who couldn't sleep and had to put gas masks on, residents who had to put gas masks on their kids.
Madison Moskowitz works at Reach, which operates the Gray's Landing apartment complex. She says they have incurred almost $250,000 working to keep the apartments and offices clean of chemical residue from the agents' munitions.
That cleaning is really hard to do when there's another round of gas the next day or the next week. So a permanent injunction is really essential to keep our residents safe and healthy and free from this unwarranted intrusion by the federal government.
The temporary injunction in place until the case is over.
The fact that we were able to accomplish this will really set the precedent and give other vulnerable communities the opportunity to protect themselves as well and be inspired by the strength of action that we took here.
Jake Holter.
And Moskowitz says they are asking the community and elected officials for help paying off the hundreds of thousands of dollars in unexpected expenses that have come with keeping the building clear of chemicals. We have reached out to DHS for comment, but have not yet heard back. A murder investigation underway in Washington County. One person is in jail without bail after a deadly shooting Friday night. Sheriff's deputies were sent to an apartment complex in the Rock Creek neighborhood and found the victim, 35-year-old Kemani Atkins, dead at the scene. They detained 26-year-old Stefan Bagnera after authorities say he shot Atkins during a fight with multiple people. The sheriff's office asked for witnesses to reach out if they haven't already spoken to investigators. An update this week in the case of a man accused of shooting several traffic cameras across the Portland area. On Wednesday, a judge sentenced Chase Grijalva to 2 years in prison and ordered him to pay more than $55,000 to the city. It's after he pleaded guilty to shooting a number of cameras during a week back in 2024. He was also sentenced to 5 years probation. In Washington, hundreds rallied in Olympia yesterday after Governor Bob Ferguson confirmed plans to sign a bill creating a so-called millionaire tax. Legislators have less than a week to approve the tax and pass it through the House. Christine Balderas has more.
At the Washington State Capitol campus Saturday, Republican voters are angry and nervous.
How are you feeling right now?
Not good. Not good. They have control.
Hundreds gathered for 2 separate rallies to oppose Democrat-backed legislation, namely a proposed 9.9% tax on millionaires. This would impact less than 1% of Washington's population, but those here say,
I don't believe it will stop at millionaires.
In the morning, a religious demonstration by about 200 people on the steps of the legislative building.
But we are not here to curse Washington, no. We are here to call her back to her God-given purpose.
This was hosted by a local chapter of the organization Turning Point USA, founded by the late political activist Charlie Kirk. Representative Jim Walsh spoke at both events.
And I would put it to you that the reason the far left wants a state income tax isn't just for the money. I mean, they want the money, but it's not just the money. They want control.
I'm a businessman myself.
This man drove over 3 hours from Wenatchee with his church. It's his first time at a political demonstration.
This is a family of God situation, and I'm here to support it.
Shortly after, people took to the streets.
We have a small business. We don't make anywhere near $1 million.
But you still care about this.
But I still care about this because I know how much it takes to run a business.
I'm so glad they can hear.
Sherry Shooter runs a small electrical company. She fears the tax would mean less jobs in Washington state.
I mean, Starbucks just opened a business, a corporate office in Tennessee.
And that was Christian Balderas reporting. If you're awake right now, you're probably feeling a little disoriented after leaping forward for daylight saving time. The confusion might be especially bad in Washington, where state lawmakers voted years ago to end the time change. In 2019, the state legislature passed a bill to make daylight saving time permanent. The governor signed it, but federal law still prevents states from acting on their own. At Boyd's Clocks in Renton, staff says the time change boosts business because customers often break clocks during the switch. Still, the owner says they would prefer no time change.
It just would be better all around than having to go back and forth and back and forth. It just confuses people.
Now, states can opt out, staying in standard time year-round, like Arizona, but they cannot move to permanent daylight saving time without Congress signing off.